welcome back, everyone. So it's always too short, and sorry for the only 15 seconds that I gave you to come back. Anna-Marie and Daria, can I ask you to say a bit about what you have been talking about in your breakout room?
Yeah, sure. I had the privilege to talk to Ines and to Anaïs, two beautiful rebels, both on their own profession, from Deloitte and as a fellow researcher. And what I really liked is the too short conversation that we had about trying to find a nice balance, as you said it, Anaïs, very beautifully, I think, about giving in on your individual personal gains versus or fighting for it versus looking at the bigger picture and looking out for a community. And I think that way of thinking, community-based thinking, and if you've lived in Sub-Saharan Africa, so you know how it feels, is I think a very strong tool to create shifts. And I was also very intrigued by Ines being a very a woman on a mission without any compromises if she really believes in something. So we better watch out.
Very good. Very rebellious. Thanks a lot. Daria, can you share what you've been talking about?
Yeah, it was super short. We just started introducing, getting into the stories actually. But I was in a call with Archa, Christina, and Edward. And I think we had people from, like, Archa is working on microalgae, very specific, but also, you started explaining that there's also a system approach to how you work. Christina is working on within an innovation center in Munich, but also with a separate passion for food. And if I understand, also kind of a shared pain for how we are building the food system, and that there's stuff that we need to work on, a lot of things that aren't working. And Edward is I want to say, like, fellow entrepreneurial spirit, working in Sub-Saharan Africa. First, like, more on the seed and input level, selling that to farmers, but also now moving more to the investment side. So we had a pretty broad spectrum of people in the food system.
Wow, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Before I go to you, Jonathan, because then you can also transfer to talking about food systems change. I had a conversation with Marie, Chiara, and Novelia, and also three lovely rebels. And I think that some of the issues that were raised were really interesting. So who's getting the agenda in the media? That is so important. That's Marie also working on how to influence that. To really have the good conversations, and also to have the language to talk about food systems change. And as well, there's still an immature conversation in Copenhagen, Denmark, where she lives. We also talked about Novelia coming from Indonesia, also joining in, and that we also most of the times work from personal motivations, like diabetes and obesity in the family. And you think, wow, if this is the food system, we really need to change that. So really to rethink the food system and how we can do that, and to give language to that. So in that sense, Jonathan, can I give you the word, maybe to also say a bit about what happened in your room, but also to transfer to telling us a little bit about a way of looking at food systems change.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Well, in our group, there was Fatima, Helena, and Bonnie Dlamini, and we had Fatima's just returned to France from a long career in agriculture in China, and been working in soy and dairy and a whole lot of other products, with a huge amount of experience and publications and lots of ideas about what to do, both in relation to climate change and waste, and also price, the cost of food. And this was a key concern also for Helena, who's been looking at, in a sense, the other end of the food production system, at providing appropriate diets, or how appropriate diets can be available for people, particularly as they get older, in looking in her community in Sweden, in Lund, in the southwest of Sweden, and thinking about and as people's needs change with age and health, how do food and diet adapt to that, and can it be kept affordable and sustainable in production, as well as accessibility. And Bonnie Dlamini is working in Eswatini in university in agriculture, and is interested in the whole gamut of, as I understood it, of the food system change, but particularly around production and agriculture. And I think what this brought to light for us was the sort of enormity of the food system. One says food systems, and we probably all have something rather different in our minds when we say it, and we say, okay, we're going to try to transform the food system, but what it is, the food system touches everything. It touches everything, and so one of the sort of issues really is, well, what are we going to do? What specifically will we do? And so this, I think, is a nice segue into some ideas that I want to share and sort of propose as really something to be thinking about with this. Perhaps I'd just briefly say what it is that we're trying to do here is to pull together. I've been